Just going through some comments, guys. This one came in a couple of days ago. It's kind of funny. It was from an older video about 6 months ago, but it says, from a nice JW gentleman to an old do-rag wearing renegade. Okay, I thought he had something to say. That was it. Well, I commented back a few hours later, and I says, since I don't know you personally, I can't verify what or who you are. Nice. Sounds like you're more of a daffodil. He responded later on and said, I know enough to know that now that you've left the true God to wear tattoos and do-rags, your life will never be the same. Dude, you're absolutely right on that. But you know, the very day I ceased to become one of Jehovah's Witnesses, that was the first thing I did, was put the do-rag on, got drunk, went out and got laid, and went and get a tattoo. How you doing, guys? This is actually the first time in a couple of weeks I've actually stepped foot inside this house. I may actually do a video on it in the future if nobody objects. Apparently somebody does object to the way I'm doing my videos of late. There's somebody who doesn't comment too often on my videos, but every so often she will pop up. But apparently has objection because I'm discussing work a lot. Well, obviously. I mean, if anybody who's watched my videos for any length of time, they realize I generally will make reference to current events and apply them to whatever the subject matter is to the video. That's nothing new. And apparently I'm not talking enough about Watchtower. Well, the subject of Watchtower does get redundant after a while, and I don't always like to talk about Watchtower or Jehovah's Witnesses. And for that matter, I've even made reference to this, that I've been kind of out of the loop. I don't really have a lot to say at this point in time about Watchtower or Jehovah's Witnesses. My guess is that she was a Lloyd Evans defender, because I got a few of them this past week, obviously, over my last couple of videos, which I expected. And the thing is, I've noticed that when somebody is coming out in defense, they generally won't go after the content, but they will make personal reference to the messenger. They will make personal attacks. And you know, when I hear comments that start out, didn't you realize? That sounds so much like a Jehovah's Witness, and they still got that mindset. And the funny thing is, they will blindly defend before they know anything, before they do any research. This is nothing new. I mean, I had dealt with this when I was a JW. My last few months in the spring of 2016, I started dropping truth bombs here and there. And I had one guy, I would make disparaging remarks about the governing body. At the time, this was before Kenneth Cook was a governing body member, so there was only 7 of them. And I believe they were still in Brooklyn at that time. And I would make a lot of cracks about the governing body. And this one joker would always come to their defense and start hurling personal insults at me. And you know what? I wanted to start dropping a little more and a little more and a little more. And I started making comments about where are donations going. And I was talking to one elder about it. And I told him, I says, brought up the child abuse lawsuits. And he says, well, you know, it's really none of our business where these donations are going. Which is kind of true. When you give somebody money, what they do with it at that point in time really is their business. However, when you're told that it's going to one certain place, it is now a deception when it goes somewhere else. When you think you're making donations that were going to the worldwide work, the preaching work, or your local Kingdom Hall, and you find out that these donations are actually going to pay for child abuse lawsuits, that now becomes a deception. Excuse me there, guys. There, okay. That's all said. It now becomes a deception. So when you start deceiving people, you're being lied to. Now, most of these people that are ex-JWs, we all caught wind, we all realized that the organization was bullshitting us all along. Most of us did our research. We did our research on Watchtower. We did our research on the child abuse lawsuits, on the governing body, and we left. But what gets me is when you follow one group of people and do your research on them, just to blindly follow somebody else. This is flat out hero worship. Now, every JW used to look up to the governing body as their leaders, and they are their leaders. But once you found out what and who they were, you knocked them off the pedestal. They're charlatans, they're criminals, they're liars. But so many leave the organization and they still have that cult mindset. What they do is they replace one goon with another one without doing their research. Now, a lot of people are going after Lloyd Evans in recent weeks. Understandable. And there's a lot of people that are taking that personal. But the ones who are taking it personal and are attacking and defending, before you defend this guy, maybe you might want to take a look and find out exactly what he's up to. You did your research on Watchtower, but you're blindly following this guy. I was given some information several days ago from an anonymous source about Lloyd Evans and what he's involved in. I opted last minute not to touch it. I had done my research over the last few days on it. As a matter of fact, Kim just recently did a video, I believe it was yesterday, on the subject. So if you're interested, you may want to catch her video. I've opted not to, but I strongly suggest any Lloyd Evans supporters that you do your research on JLE Publishing. See what kind of things that they are publishing and look at Lloyd Evans' involvement in it. If you do that, and you still feel inclined to send this guy your donations, have at it. But where is your hard-earned money going to? That's my thing. You all got sidelined by Watchtower for years by blindly sending your donations. Never knew where they went. So why would you leave one organization to send money to somebody else that you don't have a clue what he's into? Something you might want to think about, guys. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. You guys have a good day. I'll be talking to you soon.